Today, I plan to present to you a thesis. Now, is this one that's written out and has a bunch of different slides and whatnot? Not necessarily, but we are going to go over a number of headlines as we do every single day to help back this up. Now, my thought in a time when you look outside and we are in a blistering snowstorm and almost every business and school, whatever, is shut down, there's a thought to reflect in yourself of, hey, you know what? Would I want to go out and converse with other individuals today? Well, you know what? It's nice kind of just sitting at home, maybe making your own hot chocolate and just enjoying the weather from inside, not outside. Unless you prefer that, then you have that. But the social aspect of collecting, having something in common with somebody else is something that just kind of doesn't really present itself in a day to day mantra. So let me use your work as an immediate example. If you go into an office or you log in online and you talk with people, how many of those individuals do you have something directly in common with? Well, it depends. If there's a topic that gets brought up that you're able to share some sort of an interest with, and at that point, okay, well, there you go. There you have the connection between two people, and you're able to expand on that, create kind of a relationship of some sort. And talk about your friends. Well, how did they become your friends? Well, if you like the person's personality, if you like their interests, it's sort of the same thing. And what's happening with collectibles right now is the fact that it is a common denominator of a lot of people at one point or another throughout their life. They're like, hey, you know what? We kind of like what's going on here, and we have something that we can share in common. So I think one of the reasons that we're seeing collectibles explode the way they are, on top of the fact that there's a lot of people with a lot of money going out and buying these very, very expensive cards and other collectibles, which we're going to get into a Star Wars poster today that sold for an insane amount of money in particular. But it's something that can connect us. And it's something that I think is going to continue to happen because everyone in the world is looking for something that kind of brings them like hope or joy. And, we make arguments of, okay, well, this brand is releasing too much of this product, or they're doing this, that, and the other thing. And it's perceived in a negative light because it's like, oh, these people are taking advantage of this and that. It's like, well, I mean, sure, there's flippers, there's all this, there's an entire culture that's being formed around this, but it's something that people can partake in every single day that brings them a ton of joy. So let me jump through some of the rhymes and reasons why I think so. But first, giving a shout out to Major League Soccer. I think that this account, their social team, I don't know how they do it. The entire lead up to the Major League Soccer final was absolutely phenomenal in terms of socials. They had people that were making like clay dolls out of some of the top popular players. The graphics team, the video, all of that was amazing. And then for the most valuable player award given to Messi, they did a graphic where it highlighted a bunch of other notable athletes and where they actually stood, or I guess should say, also achieved the same height of getting back-to-back MVP seasons. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Peyton Manning, a whole bunch of others within there, and then a few down below, and I think that is just awesome. And then I came across this as well. We'll talk about this for the social engagement, the social interaction, love and joy. From a Facebook group called Sports Card Nonsense. Somebody bought a card, and I guess it came from some kid. And they wrote on it a little note, "Thank you for my first purchase. Hope you enjoy." Doesn't that just absolutely warm your heart? And then Hopper from Stranger Things, out at an event being asked, yo, can you open up some Pokemon cards for me? And bada bing, bada boom, that's just what he did. The social interaction of sorts. And then we can take it a step further because collectibles cover every single industry that there is. I saw today that there was a airline that is doing collectible cards that you can only purchase on their flight. We'll go over that story particularly tomorrow because that's ridiculous. But I saw somebody post their graded copies of Guild Wars. And if you didn't know, Guild Wars is a game similar to like RuneScape, World of Warcraft, where they decided to go back and create the variation of like WoW Classic, old school RuneScape. But for Guild Wars, the original one, it's now called Guild Wars Reforged. And so having a connection with a bunch of people back in the day that also played the same game as you, it's like, oh, you know what? We shared a memory at one point. I'd be friends with whoever this is. And then this one's super cool. Dexterto found the story of a Japanese YouTuber, Hajime, has been given a one-of-a-kind Yu-Gi-Oh card from Konami as a wedding gift. So we have card manufacturers sending out wedding gifts. Phenomenal. So this was the Star Wars original painting. It's kind of amazing. Like, to know that that's a painting, but it went for just under $4 million, $3.87 million at Heritage Auction. Every day, there's just something cool that you get to share a memory with. Think, holy crap, I can't believe somebody has that amount of money to begin with. And then I can't believe somebody has that amount of money and then went to buy that, of all things. But that is the fun of fandom. And if you haven't seen also Topps today, they're releasing a new set for 2025, or at least the 2025 release of it. And within there, they have the MLB debut patches. And so I found this little bit from Card Boulevard that broke down some of the top sales for it, where Paul Skenes, and again, this, to clarify, this the Topps Chrome update set is like what it's called, but these are cards, obviously, that came out previously, graded, whatever. So Paul Skenes went for $1.1 million. Jackson Holliday went for just under $200K. Wyatt Langford, just under $200K as well. And within these update cases this year, something new that they did was Disney characters. And of course, having a rock with the LA Dodgers is Mickey Mouse, but adding a couple different ones. A 2025 Topps Chrome Baseball Update Series will feature ultra rare cards of Mickey Mouse, Goofy, and Donald Duck portrayed in away MLB uniforms. Portrayed in away MLB uniforms. Super interesting that they chose to go with the away ones. And then you see this, and you're like, all right, this is kind of cool. The MLB debut patches, again, these are one of ones, and a single breaker, Filth Bomb Breaks, pulled 3 in a row, which is absolutely insane. And cue everybody saying this is absolutely rigged within the same breath. And then Lamborghini, they're getting into digital collectibles. Automobile Lamborghini and Steppen Official, which is an app that I believe you can walk with and then get like rewards for being active. If you think of Pokemon Go, how you were able to go and walk a distance and you would hatch an egg and get like a Pokemon within that game. Sort of the same idea, but a little bit different to encourage a healthy lifestyle. But Steppen Official introduced 4 exclusive digital collectibles inspired by the iconic Cyan and Aventador models. These digital sneakers represent the design, spirit, and performance of Lamborghini reimagined for the digital age. So do we like digital collectibles? Do we think, these are kind of cheesy? I don't know if I feel those look like as high quality as one would think for the likes of Lamborghini, but I suppose it is what it is. And I came across this collection of Pokemon. Look at how insane this is. I would maybe even pause the video for a second to look at just each individual one. See if you can remember each of the names. I want to say this is Whalmer, unless it's this one. But the fact that that's so big and then an Executor here, like they have Steelix in the back of that last photo. And it's just a trip down memory lane. I love it. And let's continue. The sports card world, the WWE, not WWE cards, but just people that work in the WWE. There was a post from Logan Paul highlighting Backstage that they were just ripping, and I mean ripping, Pokemon packs. Hilarious to see, but shows just how social it can be. Because think about it. What are we going to do backstage? Well, if we got a whole bunch of packs, we have something in common. We're going for some chases. Bada boom, bada bang. And one final thing that I want to leave you with on this one, because I think there's going to be a lot of pivots. And we saw where GameStop very intently pivoted to doing collectibles. Obviously, with the video game industry going so digital, they pivoted hard to collectibles. And then I saw this from Card Purchaser. The Topps Chrome update blasters have been spotted in store at Lids. So the hat store. I haven't been in Lids in a minute. I haven't. But are they going to be one of the people of, hey, you know what? Like hats were super big in the point. Like there's still demand for them, but we need something more than that. Is Lids the next company that really dives into collectibles similar to GameStop? That's your question of the day. That's going to be it for this edition of XFeed. I know they're super quick and short. Again, we are uploading all these clips to YouTube, to TikTok, to Facebook, and they performed insanely well. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. We do the RWA Segments podcast as well. If you're wanting to hear me talk with a dog brand and how they're doing, how they're also utilizing Giphy for creating GIFs, 10R, all that kind of stuff, how they're slowly starting to integrate AI within what their company procedures are and kind of the difficulty around that. Would love for you to check that out. If you're watching here on YouTube, the link is down in the description below, or if you happen to be following on X, you can find the link in my bio for that. But I wish you guys a phenomenal Wednesday night, and if you are in a snowy place, enjoy it, but otherwise, I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.